What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing a pair of Yeezys that I'm actually kind of excited about, and I haven't said that in a minute, so this is actually pretty exciting. And the pair of shoes that I'm reviewing is the Adidas YEEZY 350 V2 Zyon. It really has been a while since I've been excited about a pair of 350s, and I didn't even think I was going to get excited about this pair until I got it in hand and saw all the little details that make this pair different enough from other pairs of 350s to be interesting. The Adidas YEEZY Boost 350 V2 Zyon was supposed to release in June, but has since been moved back to July, and there's no official release date as of yet. I grabbed my pair early from Stadium Goods, which I actually unboxed in yesterday's video if you guys would like to check that out. I've also got an affiliate link to GOAT in the top of the description if you would like to grab a pair for yourself early or just check the resale prices. But even though we don't have an official release date yet, we do know the retail price, and that's 220 bucks. The name Zyon is actually a biblical reference, except in the Old Testament it's spelled slightly differently. Instead of Z-Y-O-N, it's spelled Z-I-O-N, and it refers to Mount Zion, which is the easternmost hill in ancient Jerusalem and also has some other biblical and prophetic meanings in the Bible. But purely from a visual point of view, you probably wouldn't get that. In fact, I've been calling this the coffee filter Yeezys up until recently. But regardless of the name and the meaning behind it, I think this is actually one of the most solid 350 V2s to release in a long time. There are these small details throughout the shoe that I just like so much, and I feel like this colorway is so clean and easy to rock. But why don't we jump right into the Yeezy 350 Zyons and find out what makes this sneaker so exciting. Starting off from the toe of the sneaker, you might notice that the knit pattern seems slightly different, and to be fair, I don't actually think it is. I just think that they changed up the color blocking of the shoe, which really changes up the feel of the knit. It actually has this kind of sweater vibe to it, which I'm not used to with a pair of 350 V2s. Another pretty big change on the toe is the stitching running down the center of the shoe. Not only is the actual feel of the stitching much flatter than any previous 350 V2, it also comes in a much darker shade of gray than any of the other stitching on the shoe. And not only that, but there's also some light cream colored stitching surrounding the dark gray stitching, which makes this entire detail feel much wider. I have no idea why they keep changing up the stitching on the toe of the sneaker. It seems like such a small, inconsequential detail, but they keep doing it, so there must be a reason for it, right? The prime knit around the upper of this sneaker comes in tonal browns and tonal creams, and it creates a really cool, darker static look to it, which I really like. On the lateral side of the shoe, you've got this very dark stripe running through the center of the midfoot, and from what I can remember, I think this is the darkest stripe ever used on a pair of 350 V2s, which is not that important. It's just something that I noticed, or thought that I noticed. Weaving through the prime knit, you've got these dark tan rope laces, and then moving inside the shoe, you've got this light cream colored sock liner. As usual, on the heel of the shoe, you've got the 3M Adidas 3 stripes, and then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got a light tan sock liner with the Adidas and Yeezy branding printed on the heel in brown. As for sizing and fit, you know exactly what I'm gonna say. This fits just like every other pair of 350 V2s, and for a lot of people that means you should probably go up half a size. I tend to go true to size because it fits me okay, and if I really need to, I can take out the insole, but if you're not sure, it never hurts to go up half a size. However, as I always suggest, if you have the chance to try this shoe on first before you buy it, or any other pair of 350 V2s, or maybe newer pairs of 350 V2s, I would definitely suggest doing that to make sure you're grabbing the right size for you. Oh man, I almost had it go all the way around. Screw it, doesn't matter. Why am I doing this? I should be finishing the review. What am I doing? Moving to the medial side of the sneaker, of course you don't have that dark brown stripe. Instead, you just have some plain prime knit that comes in 3 different distinct panels. For some reason, the middle portion of the prime knit is a darker brown and kind of looks like a midfoot cage, which is interesting. But I don't mind it. And then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you'll find that there's no pull tab, which some people like, some people don't. I don't really care either way, and of course you've got more of that stitching running down the center. As you've probably noticed on previous pairs of 350 V2s that do not have the pull tab, instead you have this darker brown prime knit stripe that ends abruptly on the medial side. I'm not exactly sure why they do that. I kind of like the way that they used to do that, where this line sort of faded into the prime knit if you look at some of the older 350 V2s. In fact, hold on. On older pairs, this stripe kind of came around the heel and then just kind of digitally faded, or like Thanos snapped into the medial side of the sneaker, and it just looks better. On the newer pairs, it just kind of stops. I don't get it, but I guess it's really not a big deal. It's just a design choice, and it's not one that I like, but it's fine. And then moving down on the sneaker, you get to this semi-translucent light cream rubber midsole panel. As you probably know by this point, this panel encases a full-length Boost midsole, which makes this shoe very comfortable underfoot. And as with every other pair of 350 V2s, if you move around at the heel of the midsole, you'll notice that the outsole actually wraps up a little bit onto the heel, and it's usually a slightly different color of rubber than the rest of the midsole. Again, not exactly sure why they do it, but they do it. I just don't love it. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this darker yellow, or I guess light gum color rubber on the outsole. The Adidas YEEZY Boost 350 V2 Zyon is genuinely one of the best looking 350 V2s to release this year. And I say that because I think it's one of the most wearable and one of the most interesting. However, even though this is a good colorway, I feel like this shoe is only ever worth grabbing if you really feel like you need another pair of 350 V2s. I don't feel like I need another pair, so I probably won't be keeping this pair, but some people do, and to each their own. If you've never owned a pair of 350 V2s, this is actually a good way to start. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the 350 V2 Zyon and whether you're planning to grab a pair for yourself or whether you're going to let this one go. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.